welcome to Relax and Paint. I've got a fun little project mixing some stencils with some painting. I'm thrilled to have you on. Be sure that you check our practice strokes on Fridays because lots of times I'll be doing something here and I'll go over there and show you how to use it and do it better, or a little tip or trick, like for instance with the stenciling. So go check that out. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share with your friends and ring the bell so you'll know when I'm on, okay? Because I've been doing lives almost every week, okay? So I'll see you there. So we're going to go down and start painting, all right? So I hope you have a good, enjoy this one. So what we're going to do is we are going to put down a stencil and put some pretty painting around the music stencil. And I just want you to be able to relax when you're having a stressful day, and sometimes looking at a pretty painting will do that for you. I put out some colors. We're using multi-surface colors, and I'm going to use this raw umber. This is multi-surface. Raw umber is just an acrylic, a faux acrylic. Sometimes there's colors that I just think we really need. All right, so I dampen this with my finger. This is my painter sponge that's well used. And then I'm going to pick up these two colors, right? So what's going to happen is sometimes I put wood grain and sometimes I just get a rustic kind of distressed look in the background. And I just want you to see that we can do that. So I don't like too much texture on the back, like stenciling plus, like I could do wood green on here, but wood green and stenciling would be quite a bit. So I'm going to use a couple stencils. You might see that I used a butterfly and this music stencil. Okay, so this is a 16.5 by 5, 16.5 by 6. I'm using my heat pen just because I want a stencil on it. I want to dry that just a little bit. Now, using the sponge makes it real thin, so it dries pretty quick. So when I'm base coating, I base coat a lot with my sponges too, because it will, get it all like I want it to, quick, but not super thick. And so if you paint with a paintbrush to do all this, you're going to have heavier paint. So I just did the edges a little bit. Then I'm going to fold my sponge and put it down into my basin. So when I put it down in here, I want you to see, if you put it down in here till I get through, then it won't dry out on me. All right, so that's a good thing. Now I'm going to use my 20 synthetic nylon stencil brush, killer brush. This is not like any stencil brush you ever use. I have a 3-piece set. This is a 20, I have a 12 and a 16. So I'm going to put the music. You can see like the writing on the bottom. You can tell that what's up and what's down. Not that you can't flip them, but I just want you to see that. So I can come all the way because I want it from the edge to the edge. All right. And I'm going to come down a little bit, kind of in the middle. All right. You can tape this down, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little bit of that raw umber. You can tell I got way too much raw umber, and a teeny bit of licorice. Can you see that? Because it's usually black, but I thought we'll tone it down just slightly. All right, so I'm going to go to my paper towel. Can y'all see me over here? I'm going to go to the paper towel and I take off. Okay, so you're going to take off each time I go pick up more paint. I'm going to take off because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come across here, circles left and right, back and forth, left, right. All right, now, see, I might want it a little bit darker than this. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more of both colors, come over here, rub it off. Okay, that's the key. Don't do that and you'll have a problem. Because we want it to just be just right, not goofing out, not taking away from the stencil itself, and to check yourself. So if you tape this, it's easy to check yourself, but I'm just going to show you, look. I can look and see if it's going to be blurred, like smeared, because I had too much paint. See, I can even paint from that. See, back and forth on these long lines. All right, I'm gonna pick up both colors. Gonna come right back here, back and forth. Okay. See how I'm going down? Left, right. That gets into every crevice. Okay, can you see all these little pieces here? All right, so this makes it happen so fast, gives you a great background, an interesting look. Oops, see, I'm sliding this because I didn't tape it down, but it's gonna be okay, but I just want to hold it down here, so I'm not doing that. See how I moved it? It doesn't hurt anything right now, as you saw, but it could. All right, so if I'm using a little bit of this paint that's here, then it's not too thick. But it's time to go back in and get some more. All right, you want to use the big brush when you're doing a pattern that you're going to cover a large area. And this one definitely needs this because we'll be here all day. And there we go. Left, right, stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. Did you ever do that? That's what I feel like. Okay. This is a lot of stenciling. I should have started it before we came on. But I did things like made a few mistakes and stuff, which helps you guys see that it's okay. You just keep going. Because I can also, I'm up with those flowers here. So I can also cover up something that I didn't, that I felt like didn't go well, as long as you're not going crooked here. So look, so I'm right there, and you can see it got a little blacker as I don't like the licorice a little bit more. So I'm going to come right in here, and it's important. Let's overlap it a little bit more so that my lines, see, I wouldn't have, I was way up here. So now I can put this right there and come the rest of the way over. Okay. And we'll connect a few more here. And that's how you go, because this is 20 inches long instead of 16 and a half. So that way we can go off the edge. I have to check and see where. Oops, I overlapped that a little bit, but it'll be okay. You want to stop right here so we don't do that again. I wasn't sure how I would overlap that. I guess I should have lined up whatever that pattern was along here somewhere, and it would have made it maybe line up a little bit better, but we're going to be fine because we put all kinds of flowers and all in here. Okay. And all right, there we go. See, that's not too bad. Right there, I overlapped a little bit more, but I don't think you'll see that. All right. So the other thing before I get too much paint on here is I can put, oops. I've done quite a few butterflies, so maybe I ought to do a little dragonfly. Let's do the smaller dragonfly. All right, so what I'm doing with him is I'm just going to come right in here. And so I'm using it like a pattern, so I don't have to do the whole thing. Because I'm going to paint that again, but that just gave me a pattern. And then I can maybe put a bigger one right here. See, I just want that shade there, like you could use gray. I'm using a little bit of the raw umber because it's just going to give me my pattern. Okay, see? I want to have it down a little bit more where there's maybe a flower. So then I can paint those when I'm ready. So I just laid it out for you, okay? Okay, so I'm going to come in here with a little bit of green. So I'm picking up citrus and sap with a little bit of floating medium. Can you see that? All right, and I'm going to have a stem that comes up here. So I'm on the chisel. I'm going to come right in here and a little bit out here. And I just wanted that fun little music area. Let's go this way. All right. And then I can have a little bit coming this way. We're having some leaves that are going to come down here from this. And I use this bottom area for some pretty leaves. Okay. And then I want to make the leaves out a little bit more so that the flowers, we're going to have this flower all the way up there so the dragonfly is sitting on it. So the flowers have room and you're going to see the flowers and the leaves. Does that sound okay? All right, so I can add just a little bit of white and maybe even some look at me blue. This is a wicker white, some blues. I want to come up here and they're long as slender leaves. Okay. I'm going to come down here. So these are slider leaves, long slider leaves. I'm going to pick up more dark green in here. This is mostly sap. All right. Some sap in here. So you can go along and add a bunch of the darker green. Okay, and then those would mostly be at the bottom because they're shadowed, right? Okay, let's come down a little bit more so y'all can see. All right. Now I can come up with a little bit, a few of these little light green ones. But remember, I want room for my flowers. Okay. We can put some light green on top of I might put some blue flowers and add some greens back over the blue flowers. But we're going to have a few of these stems in here. Okay. All right, so now let's pick up some blue. Look at me, blue. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but that added some good color in there. I'm using 16 flat, by the way. I didn't say that. So, all right. So this can be a real fun little quick project, and it's great for the shows that you might be selling your things, or if you wanted to have some gifts to give, really quick and easy gifts. All right. So now, if I looked at that, I could have made the brown. Oops, there we go. I could have made that a little bit more detailed in there. And I can come along here and shade more before I put too much painting along here. Let's get some floating medium and raw umber. So it's a little bit more rustic. You just a little bit along there. You can sponge that on later too if you want to, but I'm just saying, well, I've got this. I put some more medium and put a little bit up here. Oops. See, I just went into that green. That wasn't good. Take some of that green off. So when I make a mistake like that, it's easy if you get it off now. But the good thing about this paint is if you let it dry, it doesn't come off if you like do something you don't like. If it's dry, you can paint around it and go, oh, I don't like that flower. You can take it right off. Okay, so that green needs to go back in there. All right, so see, I just put a little bit of rustic in there. All right, so I'm going to pick up some green right here, and there we go. Now, I think I'm going to go down to a 12. Yeah, here's a 12, 12 flat, and I've got blue peacock and look at me blue. So what I wanted to do, first of all, is pick up blue peacock and wicker white. So that's the darker blue. So I'm going to put some of those in the background. All right. So one way that you do the background is you can put the blue on the outside. So this will be underneath, and so it'll be a little bit darker. Okay. So we keep picking up some blue there, and I can come right in here. All right. Then we can put some light blue on top. So these are going to be 5 petals. Now watch, I push, 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 push. All right, so a little bit of dark in the background. So white with blue peacock. So the rest of them are going to have white on the outside edge. Okay, so we can go right in here, right in here. So just having some of that darker blue in the background will make this look really good. Okay, so now let's watch this again. We push, lift, push, pressure, pressure, pressure. And so I don't have to make it turn. I just want you to see that. Okay. Have some of that blue coming along there. All right, so I'm going to pick up some white. All right, so look at me blue is a brighter blue than peacock, but it's nice. All right. We're pulling these chisel, like daisy strokes. We're pulling those back into the painting. All right. And I am going to come up, I'm going to wipe some of that green off, pick up the Look at Me blue. All right, so I'm going to come right in here, pick up some white. So I keep picking up green because it's pretty wet. All right. Now watch what happens here. I'm going to push down, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. Now I can come right over this and see by putting the white on the outside, it gives you the effect that this is on top. We pick up white almost every stroke. See how that brightens that up? So we're going to come right in here. Just think every time I go away, I go and pick up white. So every time I go away, I go right here and pick up white and come back in. Now, so with this 5-petal flower, if you're like, I'm not seeing that close enough and you want it to be slower, go to practice strokes and look at 5-petal flowers. And you could look at your 12 flats and see how you paint with the 12 flat, how you load it. And please think about joining our membership. Our membership gives you some advantages. It's called One Stroke Advantage because, every month, no matter what you purchase, you don't have a limit, a small or a large limit. You can just take 20% off anything you order, okay, off my website. So anything you're watching in the paints or something that you want, be sure to go to the website and it'll take you right there. It's onestroke.com is my website. And you can find all the fun things that I use online here. And my brushes are very good quality, but very inexpensive. They're they're not as cheap as a craft brush because they have quality bristles, but you can get 10 brushes for less than $20 with your 20% off. So that makes it really nice. And you have a quality brush to start with. And my folk art multi-surface paints that I use mostly. But if you see me using glitter and treasure golds and all kinds of other paints, it's all right there too. All right, I have kits of paints that will help you get better deals also. And I really love to invite you to come join our Facebook group because we are a wonderful group. We're almost 40,000 that paint one stroke with each other. And you will they'll encourage you too. All the painters on there, you just say, what do I do when I'm doing glass? How do I bake it? You can ask all these questions and they love being able to answer you. Excuse me. All right, so here we go. I'm going to come in here. Okay, so we can add a few more little pretty blue blossoms here and there. All right, now I'm going to come in here with a small scruffy. I have sizes of scruffies. Those are my natural hairs. Those are synthetic nylon. All right, so I'm going to come in here and just tap. So a little bit of white and daffodil yellow. So look, pick up the two colors, white and yellow. And as this brush, you don't want to wet it first. You want it dry. So see how bright those are? And it's just natural hairs. And so when you tap it, you can tap it a little bit bigger if you want. But we use thick paint. Oops, I went into blue. I didn't mean to do that. So see how bright that just turned it up a notch so that you have pretty colors. A little bit of white and daffodil yellow. All right. So now what I want to do is we're going to look at these dragonflies. All right. So I kept thinking I'm going to put yellow and then dragonflies would not be yellow. So anyway, we could put a little bit of blue. So I'm going to put look at me blue with some white. Now you could use metallics here too. So we're going to come right in there. And you can kind of see through the lines. So that's okay too, because it gives you the lines for the dragonfly. And I have dragonfly glaze too, which gives you that iridescent that's on their wings. All right. See that little blue up there will do it too. Then I'm going to use, this is an 8 flat. So I'm going to come right in here and I'm going to take I have both greens. I have citrus green and sap green. And I'm going to come right along here and give you a nice little green body. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. Citrus and sap. And you can go down to a 6 if you want to. I can still use the 8, though I'm just being real careful. Don't push down hard, just kind of stand up on the chisel. So now, so I don't have to worry about this. I can, like, worried about those lines showing. I can side load a little bit of the blue peacock. And look at this. All right, so I'm just side loading a teeny bit. You could even use the medium. So we're going to come way up here. All right, so you're going to come, watch this. We get a little bit more blue. A little bit more blue. Maybe that just puts a little bit out there for you. And we're going to come up here and overlap it. Okay. All right, then I'm going to take for the antennas. I can come in here. They don't really have these. Dragonflies don't, but I like to put them there, make it a little bit more whimsical. Okay, so we're going to touch and then pull it over. I can come right here and pull it down too. And we just put a little, I want to take this across here so it shows. There we go. Show a little bit. All right. So what do you think? I can come in here with a little bit of inky greens. And I can come right in here, make a little bit of whimsical. And just see every little bit you add kind of makes it more delicate, even though you're adding. But with that background, it looks like you put a lot of work in it, and you can see that it wasn't a ton of work, but it's kind of fun. All right, and I sign it and I share it. All right, I hope you guys like this little project. Mostly showing you dragonflies and butterflies, a simple little border of flowers, music. See, we could have put the music up a little bit more and it'd show a little bit more, but I think that worked. So what do y'all think? Please let me know. It's nice to hear if you're happy with it and if you're enjoying what I'm sharing. I want to show you that's kind of monochromatic, but it does have the music notes in the back to just make it fun. So check it out, and I'll see you next time.